Black Matpe, Pigeon peas, Mung peas, sponsored by Dalal Ram Swarup Upadhyay. This is going to be moderated by Lalit Bangar of Swiss Singapore Overseas. The panelists include Jayesh Patel of ETG, Prem Kokta of Kokta Global Private Limited, Sharad Bafna of Sino Multi-Biz Private Limited, Sunil Patwari of ETG Singapore, and Shyam Narsaria of RV International Singapore. May I please request our moderator, Mr. Lalit Bangar, Swiss Singapore Overseas, to please grace the dais. And as the panelists step up, it will be my pleasure to introduce them. As the moderator takes his place, stepping up first is Director, Kokta Global Private Limited, a pulse processor unit in Jalgaon. They import pulses and export processing for the last 41 years. It's well known in the pulses world, having some of the most modern plants from different pulses in Jalgaon. Dal Parivar is the brand name, and we have Prem Kokta, Director. Sir, good to see you. Jayesh, once again, pleasure to see you on stage. Jayesh Patel, CEO of ETG Group. We also have Sharad Bafna. That's all right. Sharad Bafna is Director Jawhar Exim India. And Shyam is also stepped up. Shyam Narsaria, CEO of RV International, Yangon. He's actually a CICILS by engineering, an engineer by profession, joined up with RV International, specializing in various kinds of beans, pulses, agricultural products, including verticals like iron ore and coal. Sunil Patwari stepping up, ladies and gentlemen. He's the CEO of ETG Singapore. Jayesh's colleague. He looks after the regions of Southeast Asia and has been trading and processing for more than 23 years. He knows Singapore inside out because he's been here for about 2 decades already. He's a total Singapore man. Jayesh, as you know, needs no introduction. He's the go-to man as far as ETG is concerned. He's the CEO of the Export Trading Group. That brings us, of course, to our moderator for the session. With a wealth of experience, he also started off as a chartered accountant. Having qualified in the '85 batch, he worked in professional companies across India and Dubai before he joined Swiss Singapore Overseas Enterprises in 1997. Incorporated in 1978, Swiss Singapore is a $4 billion company, part of the 40 billion Aditya Birla Group, with branches all across the world, including Dubai, Tanzania, Myanmar, Canada, China, Vietnam, Ivory Coast, Bangladesh, to name a few. Mr. Lalit Bangar is the Senior Vice President Agri, and he has the vertical of Swiss Singapore responsible for trading operations in rice, corn, wheat, palm oil, oilseeds, and above all, pulses. Ladies and gentlemen, I'll hand you over to your moderator for the session, Mr. Lalit Bangar.
Ladies and gentlemen, very warm welcome to Singapore once again. I being a Singaporean. We have an eminent panel of people down here. They are all doyens of pulse industries. Without wasting much time, I'll straight away go to the 3 products which we are going to cover today. Tur Hole, Black Matpe, and Green Mung beans. So let me start with the Tur Hole, and I go straight to Mr. Shyam Narsaria, who will talk about Myanmar Tur crop prospects and exports and all. Mr. Shyam.
Thank you. Good afternoon. I am Shyam Narsaria from RV International, Myanmar. I'll be speaking about my product, Tur Hole. We expect Tur Hole to be around 150,000 metric ton for the year 2013, as compared to the previous year crop of 250,000 metric ton. The shortage of around 40% is because of few reasons like weather, low price during the sowing time, and lesser yield. For the export of Tur Hole for the year 2013, we expect 200,000 metric ton export for the year 2013. 50,000 metric ton will be out of the carry forward stock, and 150,000 will be the current year crop.
Thank you, Shyam. Another important origin for Tur Hole in the world is, we know, African countries. So I move on to Mr. Jayesh Patel to really talk about Tur prospects on these countries.
Thanks, Lalit. Very good afternoon to all of you. Yes, Africa has started playing a significant role in the Tur market, and obviously it contributes around 10% of the global demand. The Africa, mainly the three countries, the Malawi, Mozambique, and Tanzania, produces around 200,000 tons of the tuor. This year we expect around the Malawi and Mozambique to produce around 70,000 tons, and around Tanzania is around 70,000 tons. The total is about 200,000 tons that we expect this year to come. However, it is too early to to say someone because the Malawi and Mozambique has experienced the severe drought, and the domestic requirement will also play a significant role in terms of when it comes to an export. So I would say that generally the harvest is around June and July. Traditionally, we export about 200,000 tons, but still very early to say that how much Africa would end up exporting this year.
Thank you, Jayeshbhai. Jayeshbhai, one more question to you. We know the production figure is, say, 200,000 tons, but you being a ETG group, I think which eats up a lot of production within Africa only. So how much is available for the traders? We are more interested to know.
That's a good question. Whether we export the tuor or tuor dal, eventually the market is India.
Here we are talking of whole tuor. We are not talking of dal. The whole tuor, how much is really available out of this 200,000 tons for exports or for the foreign trade?
If all plant comes into production, I would say is below 100,000.
100,000. Thank you. Thank you for the information. Now, ladies and gentlemen, these are the people who are sitting on the origination places. But, the ultimate destination for tuor hole primarily is India. So we have the main industrialist of pulses rather in India is Mr. Kokta here. Let me go to him and Mr. Prem Gupta, what do you say about the tuor hole prospects in India, like production and demand and how it's going to be up? We know that prices are really moved up drastically, so we would like to hear from you.
Yes, thank you, Pankajji, and good afternoon, everybody. Friends, regarding tuor, the total consumption of the country is about 3.2 million tons. The total crop, what we produce, is about 2.9 million tons. And the current year crop was 2.4 million. So already we are in shortage of pulses. The export is definitely going to be more. We are already importing a lot, more than what was imported last year. And this is going to be up to December when our new crop will come.
So we have seen a great shortage in India so long as the whole production is concerned.
Right.
Right?
It is.
Yeah. Okay. Great. So we'll come on the price scenario a little later. But now we would like to touch upon the second important commodity, which is black Matpe, and which is primarily grown only in Myanmar. So we have Mr. Sharad Bafna from Myanmar who will talk about black Matpe from Myanmar. Please.
Good afternoon, friends. Black Matpe is one of the main crop of pulses in Myanmar. Almost 50% of the pulses crop. And the new crop comes in February, March. Average crop is 6 lakh metric ton, but this year crop is not more than 5 lakh metric, 4.5 or 5 lakh metric ton. It's less because of the less sowing and the less moisture in the land, so the seed size is also a little bit small. And that's why price also jumped from, January it was 560 or 70, and in April now it is 650.
Okay. Mr. Bafna, can you please tell a little more about the quality of black Matpe this year? Because last year there was a lot of issues about moisture content on black Matpe, especially ASCII quality. So how is the quality this year and how do you see?
Quality overall it's okay, but FAQ size is little bit small from average year.
So that is another point. FAQ size is a bit small. So ladies and gentlemen, you know the price. What is the situation in Myanmar this year? The production is a little lower than every year. So we'll come back to pricing scenario a little later. Now I take to again to Mr. You can touch upon how much exports I think they're going to be there from Myanmar this year.
We think that this year export will not more than 5 lakh metric ton.
Okay, right. So going back to Mr. Kokta, I know we'd like to hear from you how the scene in India for black Matpe.
Yeah, as rightly said by Sharad and rightly asked by you, I think before I go to the figures of Indian crop and consumption, the issue regarding the quality of Myanmar black Matpe is really worrying for Indian importers as well, because continuously we are seeing there are many problems each year, and the problems are definitely growing more and more. Maybe it is regarding the size of the seed, or maybe the other integrants, or there are many issues. So I think from Myanmar side, this issue must be properly looked at. Otherwise, I think the way we used to get Matpe from Myanmar, say about 5 years back, comparatively there were no issues, the quality was good, but the issues started coming from last 4-5 years. So this is just a request to people who are exporting from Myanmar to India, that this issue should be very properly addressed. Friends, regarding the Indian scenario, the total consumption of black Matpe in India is about 2 million tons. And the total crop, what we produce, is about 1.5 million tons. And the current year crop is same. We are not short in our production as such, but definitely the deficit we are importing. And the new crop of Matpe, the big crop which comes somewhere in September, middle and September end.
Yeah, we all know that for black Matpe, normally there is no substitute available. For Turhol, we have some sort of a connection with the yellow peas or maybe sometime lead lentils. But incidentally, black Matpe prices are really independent of any other commodity from any origin. Now, let's touch upon now the third very important product, which is green mung beans, and which is originating from various countries. Mr. Sunil Patwari would like to just say a few words about it. Thanks.
Good afternoon, friends. Green mung scenario is basically this year overall is shortage. We are expecting a crop size of about 1.4 million tons in India, compared to 1.8 million ton as a normal crop size. And last year was also shortage, this year is also shortage. So basically the carryover is nil. And this has been seen in the price, which will come later and discuss on that. Myanmar is more or less consistent between 3 to 350,000 ton. And fortunately this year the business by sea is substantial. Normally, Myanmar green mung bean, the volume business is cross-border trade for China, but this year by sea is also substantial. China is down, normal crop generally is quite high. This year is about 400,000 tons, so you'll hardly see any exports out of China. And some small business is happening, it has been happened in past also. But that is for a premium market and for value addition or small retail packings. Australia is between 25 to 30. The crop is in a bad situation. I was just checking with our Australian friends a while ago. Some are saying 25, some are saying 30. And the weather conditions are still bad, still very dry, as you have seen with the other panelists. So green mung in Australia looks to be a very small crop. And quality this year, whatever remains in Australia also is more on processing and manufacturing grade, which is not a very good quality. Africa, we are talking about many countries, including Tanzania, Kenya, Mozambique. There are many origins where we can get from Africa. It's about 150,000 tons, very consistent. Which later maybe I would like to understand more and maybe ask Jayesh to add that since Africa is growing so much in terms of land, in terms of everything, so why the production is not picking up in Africa for green mung or other pulses. So this is more on production. So total production is about 2.3 million tons. So we go to consumption. So on the consumption side, India is a major consumer, which is about 2 to 2.1 million ton. China is about 450, which is self-sufficient, and they're importing some from Myanmar and other countries. And Pakistan, Middle East is about 200. And green mung basically is another commodity which is produced in many countries, including Philippines, Vietnam, Malaysia, Indonesia. These are not very significant volume. Even in Middle East, you talk about Uzbeki origin, and there are so many origins. So they are more like self-sufficient or very smaller part of the trade. So we are just covering major markets, major demand, and major supply. So overall, we feel there is a shortage of about 300,000 to 400,000 tons, and that's why mung has been very consistent in the market, and price has been very steady. So we'll go back to the price later. Thank you.
Sunilji, for green mung means there are a lot of different type of qualities. So what numbers which you are saying is, I think, is of the premier quality, right?
Yeah, the price which we are basically comparing is more apple to apple. When we say apple to apple means more bold and polish. When we say Myanmar, it is a variety called Peshawar variety. We don't compare with FAQ or we don't compare with farmer dressed. We are not comparing Australia manufacturing grade. So it's more like bold and polished, which can be more a uniform quality, which comes from most of the countries. Africa is exception. Africa would be more on mix and processing grade, but Australia, China, India more on bold and polished type.
So ladies and gentlemen, here is a note of caution for all. Like when you're trading green mung beans, you have to be very particular about the qualities, because even a small deviation in quality parameters can just make a difference of few $100s. So like Sunil said, Peshawar is the premier quality from Myanmar, but surprisingly, for the first time in my history or like my experience of pulses, this year we saw Peshawar traded with 2% yellow seed, which is a deficiency by itself, 3%, 5%, 8%, 10%. And it really makes a hell of a difference between 2% and 10%. So the pricing in India also is governed by the respective percentage of the yellow seed. So just don't go by just price of green mung beans. Please explore more. Please ask more what type of quality. You know, in India, somebody says, I think Koktaji can say, what is the price must be going on today? What is the range like?
Today, the current range is about, say, 5,700 to 6,200 rupees a quintal.
So you can see that 5,700 to 6,200, which is almost $100. So that's very important to know. Thank you. Yeah. Okay. Now, Sunilji, just touch upon one point, like what respective governments are doing. So let me just start with Jayesh Bhai, because Africa is in really upcoming as a very important origin, but the whole world is looking to how do they really go for increasing their production, their productivity. Are they really equipped with that, or let's hear from Jayesh Bhai.
Thanks, Rajji. I think we all talk about the Africa being a breadbasket as the time to come. And we also believe that it's going to be the breadbasket as time to come. But I think the few things which all of us require to note here, the size of the farm in Africa is generally varies between 1.5 acre. It's basically, you can say that most of the farmers are small holders, and it's like having a small gardens. They are yet to even implement the basic equipment for the farming. So if we are trying to be too much optimistic about Africa, for them that they will overnight increase the productions by 2 times, 3 times, 4 times, I think it would be a wrong perception of it. I think there is a gradual growth is coming up to 4 to 5% every year coming up. The large role is being played by the weather. Most of the time we see a quite erratic weather conditions, whether the Malawi is having a good rain and then sometimes the Mozambique having a bad rain. So these are the things that are compensating. So one country ends up producing some more than other countries producing this thing. This we have been noticed from the past many years. So I think the increasing in production would be I wouldn't be saying that it will be a major it can impact you will have on this thing. Second thing, pulses as such, most of the African countries are very poor. They are yet to be self-sufficient on their staple food requirement. So all the governments are actually giving a priorities to their staple food is like the maize, rice, the sorghum and all this thing. They are not giving these priorities. This pulses basically comes to fix the nitrogen in a soil. And I think that is the reason that pulses production is we have seen in Africa. ETG has taken a lot more initiatives to adding a value into this pulses production. But still, I think there is no any initiatives from the government or the private individuals or any NGOs as such.
Right. Thank you. Premji, I would like to, about green moving scenario, we're just talking, and maybe from Indian side, you would like to say something?
Yeah. As rightly pointed out by Sunilji and Jayesh Bhai, that mung beans are actually imported in India from many destinations, and different destination has different qualities. And particularly again for the Myanmar quality, we would like to say that as Matpe, there are quality issues in mungs also all the time. But apart from that, friends, in mung beans, the Indian consumption is about 2.1 million tons. The total production, the crop size we have is about 1.8 million. The current year production was about 1.4 million, already a shortage. And the new major crop comes in September. So,
which means you want to say that there is a huge shortage of about 700,000 tons in India.
Yeah, there is, but then I think partly it has been covered. Now only it's a matter of 4 or 5 months. Okay. And also there are many small crops which comes in India to compensate the things. But then the major crop is definitely in September.
Right. So continuing with you, same question. Koktaji, for you the only. What Indian government is really doing to scale up our production? Because we heard in between that there is some variety of turol was developed, but it could not really go so well. So what is the scenario with the Indian government or our research institutions, or what are the efforts being made in this election? Maybe you can say something.
Yeah, this is really a very good question, but I'm really happy to inform you that Indian government is seriously looking after these problems, because as you have seen all the figures, in all the items, India definitely is short of pulses. We are importing every item, maybe a little less or more. But then Indian government from last 5 years is have a very good attention in the finance budget. Also, the finance minister has given a particular budget to look after the quality of the seeds. Government is giving farmers quality seed. They are trying to teach them about the different things, how to grow, what care should be taken and all. And really interesting is on the national channels, these advertisements are available for the farmers particularly to see that things are available with the government, the advice is available, and farmers should take advantage of that. So definitely there are some institutes, the government institute formed by the government, the research things are going on. Of course, to the scale India needs, definitely the scale comparatively is slow, but things are moving. Things are moving in a right and good direction.
So going more specific for the 3 products which we are covering, we know that chickpeas have been developed by Indian people. Is there any effort in developing, say, mung beans or black matpe or any other sort of variety? Do you know that?
That is what government is trying regarding the seeds for all these things, and things are coming up.
Okay, fine. So, ladies and gentlemen, now another hero which is emerging out of the yesteryear's situation is nobody else but Myanmar. So we have been reading in newspaper every now and then that the Myanmar, so-called Myanmar, which was always in the US sanction list and some other people's sanction list, people used to be afraid of to hear Myanmar business. though perhaps I'm alive because of that business fine. So we have a very important piece of presentation by Mr. Sham. He'll just briefly touch upon how the scene in Myanmar is changing and how it is being more interesting country to really step in. And few multinationals have already started putting their foot in that country and following with some more. So, Mr. Sham, to talk a bit about Myanmar.
Thank you once again. Friends, we all know about Myanmar. But do we know about the new Myanmar? The emerging Myanmar? Let me share with you the latest development in Myanmar. A new foreign investment law is passed in November 2012. As a result, a lot of foreign investment is expected in Myanmar for the coming years ahead. We can get visa on arrival now. This is a news. Everybody worry about the visa. They need invitation, so many long procedures, and now we can get visa on arrival. Many foreign banks have opened representative offices in Myanmar. That is also a very healthy sign. There are money changes are now become official, which is again a very healthy sign. One thing which happened in last year, that is Myanmar government have reduced the export tax from pulses from 10% to 2%. So summing up, I can say, I think everybody will agree that these are the very positive developments in Myanmar. Thank you.
Yeah, I can further add to it that just by a few parameters you would know, in Myanmar the good hotel rooms were available about $50 or $60 US dollars a night, maybe 18 months back. And today, even if at $250 you get a hotel room, you'd be lucky. Moreover, from Singapore to Myanmar, there used to be only 2 flights a day about 2 years, 3 years back. Today there are 4 flights, and you just take my words, all are going packed, literally packed. So, and Myanmar got a lot of direct flights to as odd places Qatar. There is a direct flight to Qatar as well, 3 or 4 times a week. So, ladies and gentlemen, there are a lot of development which is happening in Myanmar, and please just watch out this country. Thank you. Now, I think the most important part of the discussion, which everybody is eager to know, that what prices are going to be there. Let us hear from our experts, though of course they will try to put, they have tried a lot of efforts, they put in a lot of efforts into really working out these numbers. So let's go to Mr. Sham to really talk about tour hole prices from Myanmar, specifically from Myanmar. Thank you.
As we all know, tour hole is short in Myanmar. This year, it started with 615 FOB level in the month of January. It rose to around 800 FOB level by March. But it is still expected to go up to 900 FOB level in the month of June and July. But later drop because of Africa crop, which is expected in August and September.
So we have seen this year, there are a couple of reasons the prices started at low ebb, which is around $600 odd, and it has already gone over by 33 to 35% in just a matter of 2 to 3 months. And there are more upsurges expected for coming 2-3 months due to the reason which Mr. Kokta also says there is a big shortage of tour hole in India. So the chart the team has tried to put, of course, the post-August, September is a scenario to be seen, because then it will be a dependence on the monsoons and exchange rate of Indian rupee, and a lot of other factors will really play a role. But what we look at it is that up to for April, May, June, definitely the trend looks bullish. Now I'll go to Mr. Sharad Bafna to say something about the price of black Matpe, which is a sleeping tiger. Let's hear from him.
The price for black Matpe was in January, it is 560 or 65, but because of less crop, price gone up in April 650. And we are expecting the price in future will go up to 750 FOB in another 2-3 months. But price will go down again in December or January when the new crop comes. Thank you.
So these prices, when you say, is for which quality of black Matpe?
This is FAQ quality.
FAQ quality, right. So tell me, we have seen the difference between FAQ and SQ quality, sometimes $10, sometimes $15, sometimes $50, or sometimes maybe even more. So what do you think the reasons for that?
This time it is $60 to $70.
Right. And how about you already said FAQ size is a bit small.
Yes.
And as Mr. Kokta also shows it concerns that the quality of black Matpe is getting deteriorated over the period of last few years, 4 years. So is there any attempt in Myanmar being made for improving the quality, or how to restore, or we traders just straight keep on trading? We really not listen to Mr. Kokta.
No, but all the urad, whatever exporting from in Myanmar, it is gravity clean only. It comes in the raw form, they gravity it into FAQ and SQ quality.
So you're hopeful that the quality is going to be better this year?
Definitely.
Right, okay. Now, for green Mung beans, Mr. Patwari, he would like to say, because we have seen a huge price jump in initial months of this year in green Mung beans also. So please, Mr. Patwari.
Before I go to green Mung, I would just like to add on Sharad Bhai's comment and Bangarji's question about black Matpe and Myanmar improving on quality. As long as India will continue to accept Myanmar quality, whatever it is, Myanmar is not going to improve. Main market is India, and India has been accepting all sort of quality, all sort of specs, and Myanmar will export all different qualities. So if anybody wants, like Chennai market, they prefer good quality, they buy special quality, and they pay a premium for that. So
Kokta ji, send a big quality claim to him next time, when he supplies on quality.
Coming to green Mung bean, again, there are a lot of varieties. I just focus more on bold and polished variety. Say between Myanmar, China and Australia, the price range started as low as $1,000. And gradually, the current level would be between, depend on origin to origin, between 1,100 to 1,300. Like Australia would be today maybe 1,200, 1,250. China would be today 1,300. So that's the price range. And overall, we see Mung good quality to remain firm, because the availability is limited. And there will be different manufacturing grades, processing grade which will come, and prices will be low. But for premium grade, also seeing paddy shaver, like Bangarji said, this year yellow seed is about 8 to 10%. That means quality itself is bad. So premium grade will fetch very good price. So I see good quality to remain firm, seeing overall use shortage. Yes, Bangarji.
Thanks, Patwari. Okay, now, I was asked by Mr. Gate Gibson that, okay, you become a good boy because you had a very bad brothers, elder brothers who spoke before you. So please, you are a nice boy, you have to just stick to the time. So, yeah, okay. Yeah, Kokta just raised upon a very important point. Like, what are the prices really from India side, which is also equally important to know how the prices are really moved in a couple of months. So, yeah, Ms. Kokta, yeah.
Yeah, thank you. And before I go to the prices, let me with all respect tell Sunilji that Sunilji, gone are the days when India used to accept the quality you people used to give. Now things are comparatively different, and I hope maybe you must be shipping good quality, so you are not finding any issues. But definitely people who don't ship as promised will find issues, and things are changing, things have changed. Friends, regarding Indian price trend this year also, as usual, the price trend was up. For the Matpe, it was from 30,000 to 37,000 rupees a ton. For Tuor Hole, it was 30,000 to 47,000 tons, 7,000 rupees. And for Mung beans, from 45,000 to 65,000 rupees.
That's very important information to people who are not really thickly involved with this market. But yes, in last 2-3 months, surprisingly, we have seen all the prices going northwards only. And there are hopes that they, for the time being, they're not going to really fall down. So quickly, if I can just, on the pricing front, if I can just take you through this next slide chart, quickly, if you can see the shortages, what is the total crop prospects like. Black Matpe short about 150,000 tons in Myanmar. The Tur hole is about 125,000 tons in Myanmar again, so which is close to about 40%. Mung beans, yes, more or less a similar size, but as Sunilji said, you have to be very cautious about the quality of the mung beans, because these numbers covers quality of many products as well, but like yellow seed with more yellow seed, less yellow seed. And then I go for the exports, which is expected this year. First blue chart you are seeing on the screen shows last few years exports. This year this is going to be 500,000 tons, Tur hole 200,000 tons, and mung beans is about 300,000 tons, which is the expected exports. So again, on the price trend, if you look at that, we already covered this in the earlier slide, but this is a summing up. You can see all the prices are showing till August, September, solid and good growth in prices. These are the FOB Yangon prices, my dear. So again, there will be freight implication, there will be exchange rate implication in India, and then that will really factor the C&F prices. So with this, as I said, Mr. Gibson, I do hear Mr. Gibson, and then I'll throw upon the floor for the audience to ask questions. I would request gentlemen can raise their hands. They can just tell their name and the company they belong to, and then they can put a question. Yeah, I can see Mr. Goenka there. Mic, please. Anybody there with the mic? Fourth row, yeah.
My question to Mr. Kokta. You had mentioned that current crop of Tur is 2.4 million tons. And Myanmar is exporting about 200,000 tons. And about Maheshji had informed that about 100,000 tons export from Africa. So there is a shortfall of about 800,000 tons. So we are going to receive about only 300,000 tons from other country. So there will be a total shortage, still shortage of 500,000 tons in India. So don't you think that the price will go up more than $1,000 of Tur?
Yeah, I don't think so. I don't think so, because I think the shortage which we have calculated is 0.08 million tons. And you have mentioned only regarding the Myanmar exports to India, but
and
then
also Africa 100,000 ton.
Yeah.
And Myanmar about 200,000 ton. Total is 300,000 ton. Our shortage is about 800,000 ton in India.
Maybe our other Ms. Sunilji would like to take this question.
Goenkaji, shortage is there. It will be partially compensated by liard lentils. You know, Tur hole can replace lentils. They can substitute each other. So shortage is significant. If you see the price trend, what has happened in the market, shortage is there. And then once the crop comes, Africa is going to supply dal. So that is also going to get compensated, because as long as Tur is coming, either in form of raw material or finished product, Tur will be there in the market. So dal is also anyway coming to India. So I'll just ask Jayesh to add, but there will be certain component of liard lentil which will be replacing Tur hole.
Yeah, there is one more thing, Jayesh bhai, that Goenkaji will appreciate that when the prices really go quite up, particularly this year when number one is Mung and then Tur, we see that the consumption of that particular commodity goes a little down, and as rightly said by Sunil, it will be compensated by the lentil thing and other things. And the consumption also, of course, as we have said, the consumption of 3.2 million, the prices, if they move further, definitely it will affect the consumption.
Thank you.
I think two more factors I think you should consider. If you see the last 3 years, I think we all been talking about that India short crop. Obviously, India has reported last year about 10 to 15% short crop. That doesn't mean India did not produce anything. I think the all of sudden jump into tuar is mainly because of this carry forward. All the times, industries have been losing the money on tours specifically. And I think that's the reason that the supply was almost constrained. And obviously people was going hand to the mouth. And I think that's the reason when all of a sudden this supply, the shortage came, the price suddenly, went up by $100, $150. And to answer more specifically about your question, the price could go $1,000. Yes, I believe that it may go up to $1,000. The reason why, there are two factors which we are not considering. One is in Africa, which you are yet to determine. It's a plantation is going on, harvest is still due in the June. We are assuming that Africa may produce. And I think Africa has already, the sub-Saharan has already noticed the bad rain. Especially the Malawi and Mozambique, the two key producing countries, has already noticed the bad rain. So we do not know if that rain, if doesn't continue till the April or maybe the late April, then we will have an impact on the production as well. So that is one of the factors. And I think that's about 300,000 tons which you are talking about the supply out of Africa. So that's another factor which, if the Africa doesn't produce for these normal crop as average, then yes, we will have a serious problem. And I think second one is also Indian monsoon, which also we will be talking about. So if which we are going to see from the June onwards. So till the late December, I think it will be the prices will be very much unpredictable as such.
Yeah. So Goenkaji, you said double. Yeah, of course. It is not exactly double in literal sense, but definitely there is a very firm tone in two-roll prices. It may go up to by 25% or 30% is again a matter of question, again a matter of judgment in coming few months. But there are three factors which are working. As Sunil said, one is layered lentil substitution. Second is the shifting to other cheap products. Your consumption gets moved to the other cheap products. And third is Africa factor. So I think that's right. Any more question, please?
Thank you.
Mr. Praveen Dongra here. Mike there. Oh, next followed by that. Okay, fine. Okay, next question.
My question is to Koktaji, and it's related to Indian domestic demand. Do you see demand rationing at such high prices?
No, Praveen Saab, definitely when the prices go up, what we have seen particularly because we are the millers and we are the producers and we have seen whenever the prices go beyond a limit, definitely there is a concern regarding the consumption. Definitely it stops somewhere. It reduces, definitely. Or maybe shifting to some other purposes.
Yeah. Mr. Murthy.
Yeah, hello. I am Krishnamurthy. I am from 4P International Private Limited, Chennai. My question is to the panelists on Myanmar. I am asking a basic question. The figures which you are giving of Myanmar, what is the basis? Is there any authority which is giving these figures, or you are deriving these figures on the basis of some hunch or some rumors? For example, in the case of India, we have Ministry of Agriculture. Anybody can go into the site and then see the reports and see the production figures. But in Myanmar, what is the basis? To my knowledge, I have been trading in this Myanmar product for the last 17 years. And every time, when the prices go up, they say production is short. When the prices fall, they say there is a lot of carry forward stocks. I wanted to know whether there is any authority which is giving these figures, or you people are forming your own figures.
Murthy, excellent question of yours. If somebody can take, otherwise, if nobody is taking, then I can take it.
Sorry, I was unable to hear you. There is no authority which issues the figure. I think not even in Myanmar, entire world, nobody can give the...
No, I'm sorry, in India we have figures given by the ministries. Anybody can see the figures. In fact, we have figures of seeding, figures of planting. Every weekly is revised for information.
Murthy, I will answer your question. There is no specific authority in Myanmar to give any figures. It is basically with past experience on exports, current exports, and basis word of mouth. We talk to 10, because these commodities are mainly handled by top 10 to 15 traders in Myanmar. There are not many players. You talk to them, they give you figures, and we give you figures. It's as simple as that. There is no authority. You can be right. Yes, if market goes up, there is a shortage. If market goes down, there is a surplus. That is what it is. And overall, pulses as commodity is a commodity of sentiment. With my experience, 20 years, I feel fundamental doesn't work in pulses. It may work in chickpeas, desi chickpeas and yellow peas, but with my experience, especially the commodities, shallow commodities like Burmese commodities or mung bean or anything, the major factor is sentiments. So it goes with the price. Markets are good, crop is short. Market is not good, crop is bad.
No, but at the same time, Mr. Murthy, the figures are not haywire, let me tell you, let me assure you. If you see past experience, every year there is some sort of estimate, and there may be 10% deviation here and there. But if you really see, because as it progresses, there are a lot of things which really, and Myanmar, there's no such scientific way. So people really go with their experience. They go to the farms, they see the crop, the size of the bean, and how does it look like, how is it yield. So all those, there's a figure. But I'm sorry, I partly disagree with the Indian figures as well, because last year also they said Tur whole is really available, very shortage there, but then it kept on supplying till the end. So these figures is again a guesswork, of course, let us admit that. Okay. Let us not say that there is authenticity about it.
No, my intention is not to pinpoint this thing on panelists or Myanmar figures. My intention is only trying to understand whether there is a real basis. Now I understand there is no real basis, except that it is as Mr. Sunil Patwari is saying, it is based on the understanding of some top 10 people or some word of mouth or anything. What I'm trying to say is, if that is the case, then the possibility of committing errors is more, and the price prediction given by the panelists can lead to a lot of, distortions in the price discovery. That's it. Thank you.
Yeah, thank you.
My question to Jai Prakash Patel ji. I heard that there is some kind of R&Ds going on in Africa to grow black Matpe. Is it true? In future, can we expect black Matpe from Africa region also?
Absolutely no. As of now, to my knowledge, no.
Is there any particular region?
As I said, the pulses does not fall as a priority crop in Africa at all. It is just a second crop that the farmers would like to take it, as we only got a one monsoon. Okay. And they take an advantage of the weather. That's the only thing. Basically, they try to fix the nitrogen improve the soil fertility, and that's how the pulses are being grown in Africa as such.
Okay, thank you.
Thank you. I think with the last question, we sum up this discussion here, and I thank all my colleagues and friends and eminent panelists who has a rich experience, and I'm sure you can very well discuss with them or me even outside this hall. So it is time to say thank you all, and we thank Mr. Dalal Ramswarup also, who is the sponsor for this program. Thank you very much.
Grass right in the center. Shared Bafna, Sino Multi-Biz Private Limited. Shyam Narsaya, RV International Singapore, who have also sponsored the coffee break, but we're moving on with the program. And of course, Prem Kokta of Kokta Global. Jayesh, I'd like to request to present a memento on behalf of the organizers to Mr. Lalit Bangar, our moderator for this session.